He flew presidents on his private jet. His parties attracted the world's most powerful. He had wealth beyond measure and secrets that would destroy empires. But Jeffrey Epstein wasn't just a financer. He was operating the most disturbing criminal network hiding in plain sight. This is the story of how one man manipulated the system until he couldn't. Jeffrey Epstein, the name that would become synonymous with one of the most shocking criminal cases in modern history. But for decades, he was a ghost hiding in the machine of America's elite. Born in Brooklyn in 1953, Epstein started as a math teacher at a prestigious Manhattan private school. No Ivy League degree, no notable family wealth, just an average guy. By the 1980s, he'd transformed himself into a billionaire financer. He owned a mansion in Manhattan worth $77 million, a private island in the Caribbean, a ranch in New Mexico, a palace in Paris. His private Boeing 727 was nicknamed the Lolita Express. He socialized with presidents, princes, and Nobel Prize winners: Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, Prince Andrew, Stephen Hawking. But here's the thing nobody could ever answer. What did Jeffrey Epstein actually do? Financial experts couldn't figure out his business model. He claimed to only work with billionaires, but nobody could name a single client except Leslie Wexner, the founder of Victoria's Secret. The mystery of his wealth was just the beginning. Behind every monster, there's often an accomplice. For Epstein, that was Ghislaine Maxwell, daughter of disgraced media mogul Robert Maxwell. She wasn't just his girlfriend, she was his recruiter, his organizer, his partner in crime. Together, they operated from Epstein's 75-acre private island in the US Virgin Islands, Little St. James. Locals called it Pato Island. The island had a mysterious temple-like structure, underground rooms, and a steady stream of young girls being brought in. Epstein's infamous Black Book contained over 1,000 names. His flight logs showed powerful men making repeated trips to the island. But here's what made Epstein so dangerous. He didn't just collect powerful friends. He collected leverage. Former employees claim he had cameras everywhere, recording what happened and who was there. This wasn't just about his own depravity, it was about control. By the early 2000s, victims started coming forward. Young girls, some as young as 14, describing a systematic operation. What happened next was abuse and trafficking. In 2005, Palm Beach police began investigating. What they found should have put Epstein away for life. Instead, something else happened. The FBI investigation identified 36 victims. Prosecutors drafted a 53-page indictment that could have meant life in prison. But Jeffrey Epstein had connections. In 2008, Epstein pleaded guilty to just 2 state charges. The sweetheart deal allowed him to serve just 13 months, most of it on work release. The federal case was dropped. The deal even granted immunity to any co-conspirators. Everyone in his network walked free. After his release, Epstein's lifestyle barely changed. The private jets, the parties, the connections. For a decade, he operated in plain sight. Then, in 2018, the Miami Herald published a groundbreaking investigation. They tracked down victims, exposed the cover-up, and reignited public outrage. On July 6, 2019, Jeffrey Epstein was arrested at Teterboro Airport. This time, federal prosecutors in New York charged him with sex trafficking of minors. He was denied bail and held at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in Manhattan. Finally, it seemed justice would be served. But Jeffrey Epstein had one final escape. On August 10, 2019, Jeffrey Epstein was found dead in his cell. The official cause: suicide by hanging. But the circumstances raised immediate questions. He was supposed to be on suicide watch, but had been taken off. His cellmate had been removed the night before. Guards didn't check on him for hours. Security cameras malfunctioned. Whether it was suicide or murder, one thing was certain: Jeffrey Epstein would never face trial. He would never name names. The full truth of his network would die with him. In 2021, Ghislaine Maxwell was convicted of sex trafficking and sentenced to 20 years in prison. During her trial, she refused to cooperate or name others involved. Court documents continue to be unsealed, revealing more names and connections. But most of the powerful people in Epstein's orbit have never been charged. The real tragedy belongs to the victims. Dozens of women whose childhoods were stolen, whose trauma will last forever. Many have never received justice. The questions remain. How did Epstein acquire his wealth? Who else was involved? What was on those recordings? Who helped cover it up for so long? Jeffrey Epstein is dead, but the system that enabled him still exists. And somewhere, there are still secrets buried. The question isn't just, who was Jeffrey Epstein? The question is, who let him get away with it for so long?